Imagine being the best golfer in the world. Not just great, not just consistent, but so dominant that you rewire the psychology of every single person standing on the same course as you. Tied for first in PGA Tour wins and widely regarded as one of the greatest golfers of all time. Now imagine being the guy on the other side of the rope.
There you go.
The guy who trained for years, who qualified for every major, who believed with everything he had that this week might finally be his week. And then Tiger Woods walks onto the first tee, and something inside you just crumbles. This is the story of what it actually felt like
So Tiger's pulling off a couple of...
to compete against Tiger Woods, and it is not a comfortable story. It starts before most people ever paid attention. Tiger Woods was introduced to golf in Orange County, California, before age 2, and became a child prodigy in golf, perhaps the most precocious young golfer in history.
Amazing.
What a good club change, eh?
Tiger learned golf first on the military courses in Southern California. You see, his father, Earl Woods, was a former United States Army officer who had served 2 tours in Vietnam. He had a plan, and the plan started before his son could even read. Tiger shocked a national television audience by driving golf balls at age 2 in front of Bob Hope on the Mike Douglas show. Not competing, not learning, performing. There is a difference, and that difference would define everything that came after. He won his first tournament at the age of 8, competing in the 9 through 10 age group boys event at the Junior World Golf Championships, a contest that he would eventually win 6 times, including 4 consecutive victories between 1988 and 1991. He was not just excelling at his age group, he was erasing it. Yet even then, Tiger himself never leaned into the mythology. He said it plainly, "People don't understand that when I grew up, I was never the most talented, I was never the biggest, I was never the fastest, I certainly was never the strongest." However, what he was relentless, and that relentlessness would become the most terrifying weapon in the history of professional golf. By the time Tiger reached Stanford University, the talent was no longer a secret. At age 20 in 1996, he became the first golfer to win 3 consecutive United States amateur titles and won the NCAA Individual Golf Championship. 3 consecutive US amateurs. Nobody had ever done it before. Nobody has done it since. And he still hadn't turned professional yet. Woods turned professional at age 20 in August 1996 and immediately signed advertising deals with Nike and Titleist that ranked as the most lucrative endorsement contracts in golf history at that time. The golf world had been told something special was coming. However, even those who believed the hype were not ready for what actually arrived. Woods was named Sports Illustrated's 1996 Sportsman of the Year and PGA Tour Rookie of the Year in his first full season, before he had even won a major championship. The sport had already decided this person was something different, and they were right, because April of 1997 was about to change everything. Augusta National, the 1997 Masters. Woods dominated the field at Augusta National, winning by a record-breaking 12 strokes for a 12-stroke victory. 12 strokes. Stop and sit with that number for a moment. The second-place finisher was 12 shots worse than Tiger Woods over 4 days. That is not a win. That is a dismantling. At just 21 years old, Woods became the youngest player ever to win the Masters, and his victory marked the beginning of a new era in golf, as the gallery erupted. But the players in that field, they were not celebrating. They were recalibrating, because they had just watched something that had never happened before. There have been only 2 instances since 1900 where a male golfer has thrashed the field by 10 or more strokes in a major championship. Both times, it was Woods. He did it first at the 1997 Masters and again at the US Open 3 years later. 2 times in the entire century. Both the same man. Let that settle in. So, what happened next? Simple. Tiger got better. He was the top-ranked golfer in the world from August 1999 to September 2004, 264 consecutive weeks, and again from June 2005 to October 2010, 281 consecutive weeks. We are talking about nearly an entire decade collectively, where Tiger Woods sat at the top of the world rankings without interruption. The other players were not competing for first place, they were competing for second, and then came the year 2000. the year that even veteran golf writers ran out of adjectives. Tiger claimed the 100th US Open title at Pebble Beach by 15 shots, the only man under par for 72 holes, and the first ever to record a double-digit under par winning score at a US Open. At the 2000 US Open, Woods set a new record for the largest margin of victory in a major championship, besting old Tom Morris's 13-stroke victory at the 1862 Open Championship. Think about that. A record that had stood for over 130 years. Gone. After the Pebble Beach performance, future US Open winner Michael Campbell perhaps put it best, saying, "The man is a freak of nature, worlds apart from us in every way." That was not trash talk. That was a confession. A top professional golfer looking across the scoreboard and simply admitting the truth out loud. But this wasn't all. Because the science eventually caught up to what the players had been feeling for years. A study by Northwestern University economist Jennifer Brown analyzed the performances of PGA Tour players during Tiger Woods' peak years, defined as between 1999 and 2010. What she found was rather interesting, that players actually played worse when Tiger Woods was in the field compared to when he wasn't, because of the intimidation factor he brought. Brown called this the superstar effect. When Woods played in a tournament, other players shot nearly a full stroke higher. The effect was strongest among the top-ranked players who would be in direct competition with Woods for the highest payouts, a full stroke higher, every single round, just because he was there. Not because he did anything, not because he spoke to them, just because Tiger Woods was in the building. The best players on earth performed worse. His mere presence intimidating other players gleaned him approximately $6 million extra in prize money. He earned $6 million simply by existing on the same golf course. That is mind-blowing. You see, Ernie Els was perhaps the most gifted rival Tiger ever had, and even he couldn't escape the gravity of it. Els explained, "People ask me this question a lot. What separated Tiger from us? There are a lot of things, but the one real factor was his intensity on the first tee." He said, "On the first tee, you just want to get in the round and see how things are, testing out the waters of the competition. Hopefully by 4 or 5 you are even par or 1 under and get into the tournament." A lot of us were like that. But Tiger, he was different. On the first tee, he was ready to go. He was ready to absolutely strangle the golf course and get to the field eventually and really take down the tournament. Strangle. That was the word Ernie Els used. Not compete, not challenge, strangle. While Phil Mickelson is considered Tiger's closest rival for good reason, Ernie Els actually would have benefited more from Woods' absence. When Woods arrived on the scene, the South African had already won a US Open, and he'd add another at the major directly following Tiger's landmark 12-shot 1997 Masters victory. Els finished runner-up to Woods at both the US Open and the British Open in the 2000 season, the best golfer outside of Tiger finishing second twice in the same year to the same man. And Ernie once said of Tiger plainly, "Not exactly a ringing endorsement of your own competitive position." However, the Els situation was almost gentle compared to what Tiger did to the rest of the leaderboard. He is 14-1 when going into the final round of a major with at least a share of the lead.
There you go.
Multiple golf experts have heralded Woods as the greatest closer in history. 14-1. When Tiger had the lead on Sunday, the tournament was over. Every other player on the course knew it. The caddies knew it. The galleries knew it. And deep down, Tiger knew it too. He once said it himself with full confidence, "There's no sense in going to a tournament if you don't believe that you can win it." And that is the belief I have always had. And that is not going to change. That belief, combined with his physical ability, produced results that simply have no equivalent in the modern era. 3 times in his career, Woods won at least 5 consecutive tournaments on the PGA Tour. His personal best was 7 in a row between 2006 and 2007, which included 2 majors and 2 World Golf Championships. It tied the second longest winning run in history, 7 consecutive tournaments, while playing the hardest courses in the world against the best players alive. And the statistical domination was not limited to the weekend. Woods set the all-time PGA Tour record for most consecutive cuts, made with 142. The streak started in 1998, and he extended this mark to 142 before it ended on May 13, 2005 at the EDS Byron Nelson Championship.
Turn to glory.
142 tournaments in a row making the cut. For comparison, many consider this to be one of the most remarkable golf accomplishments of all time, given the margin by which he broke the old record, and given that during the streak, the next longest streak by any other player was usually only in the 10s or 20s, while Tiger was at 142. So what about the Tiger Slam? Because nothing captures how terrifying he was more completely than this one achievement. Woods is the only player to have won all 4 professional major championships in a row, accomplishing the feat in the 2000 through 2001 seasons. This feat became known as the Tiger Slam. Every golfer alive was competing for majors during that window, and every single one of them lost, 4 times in a row, to the same person. He was the youngest to complete the career Grand Slam, and he completed it in just 3 years, joining Gene Sarazen, Ben Hogan, Gary Player, and Jack Nicklaus in this most exclusive club, the youngest ever. In 3 years, men who had dedicated their entire lives to golf took decades to collect that same set of trophies, and Tiger did it before his 25th birthday. Keegan Bradley, a PGA Tour winner himself, summed it up as simply as anyone. I realize Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods. He's intimidating. There was no elaboration needed, no qualifying statement. He's intimidating. Full stop. And yet the thing that made Tiger truly terrifying wasn't just his statistics or his record margins or his consecutive weeks at number 1. It was the specific way he could beat you. Tiger Woods, at his best, could beat you in a variety of different ways. If he wasn't bludgeoning you with his power,
On Sunday,
Tiger could dazzle you with his finesse. He'd beat you with his putter or scramble you into submission, and when none of that worked, he'd just let you beat yourself. That last sentence is the one that should haunt every player who competed against him. He didn't even need to play his best golf. Sometimes he just had to stand there, and the psychological weight of his presence was enough to make everyone else collapse under their own pressure. In perhaps the most famous singles match of his career, Woods pummeled Stephen Ames 9 and 8 in the round of 64 at the 2006 WGC Accenture match play. It was the biggest margin of victory in the history of the event, and the perfect riposte to the Canadian questioning Woods' accuracy off the tee. Ames had spoken publicly about Tiger's accuracy before the round. When asked whether he had been aware of Ames' comments, Woods simply replied, 9 and 8. 9 holes up with 8 to play. He didn't say another word. However, the intimidation extended well beyond individual match play moments. Woods won the Arnold Palmer Invitational 8 times. No other player has won it more than twice. From 2000 to 2013, Woods was 109 under par at Bay Hill, 73 shots better than any other player, 73 shots better than his nearest competitor over that stretch. At a single tournament. That is not a rivalry. That is ownership. From 1999 through 2009, Tiger teed it up at the WGC Bridgestone Invitational 10 times, winning the tournament in 7 of those years. Woods was 103 under par in that stretch, 67 shots better than any other player. And the other 23 players with 30 or more rounds played in that tournament during that same time were a combined 275 over par. Think about that. The rest of the field, combined, was 275 over par. Tiger was 103 under. He was occupying a completely different universe. In the last 60 years, there are 3 instances of a player winning 5 or more PGA Tour starts in a row. They belong to Woods, 7 straight. Woods, a different run of 6 straight, and Woods, a 3rd run of 5 straight. All 3. Every single one of those historic winning streaks in the modern era. The same person. And then the 2019 Masters arrived. After his high-profile scandal and marital breakup, along with countless injuries and surgeries, including his 5th back surgery in 2017, Woods somehow sealed his 15th major title and 1st in 11 years at the 2019 Masters. The gallery at Augusta erupted. His children were by the green waiting for him. In one of the most remarkable comebacks in sports history, Woods won the 2019 Masters, his 15th major title, a victory that many thought was impossible given the injuries and struggles he had faced. Woods won his first and 15th major championship 22 years apart, his first coming at the 1997 Masters and his most recent being the 2019 Masters. He is one of only 2 players in men's golf history to win majors more than 20 years apart. That is the complete picture of Tiger Woods. Not just the dominance, not just the records, not just the winning margins that nobody has touched in a century. It is the full arc of a person who spent his entire life becoming the thing his rivals most feared, then lost everything, then came back and reminded everyone exactly who he was one final time. What if I told you the most terrifying golfer in history won his first major at 21 and his last at 43, that he spent 683 weeks ranked #1 in the world, that he won 22.8% of every professional PGA Tour event he entered, that a scientific study proved other players literally performed worse just because he showed up, that the courses themselves had to be physically lengthened in an attempt to slow him down, a strategy that became known as tiger-proofing.
So we wanted to clean those little things up.
And that even after multiple back surgeries, personal scandal, and a near-fatal car crash, he walked onto Augusta National and beat the entire world one more time. That is Tiger Woods. And nobody in the history of golf has ever made the competition feel so completely, thoroughly, and undeniably small. Did you know that one of the players Tiger competed against for years, Phil Mickelson, finished his career with 6 major titles and 45 PGA Tour wins, yet spent most of his prime in Tiger's shadow, despite being one of the greatest left-handed players who ever lived? Well, that's a story of its own, and you can learn just how far Tiger's dominance reached by clicking on your screen right now.